Greetings, Commanders. Today we're going to be learning how to make money as a new player. Now, this is going to assume that you aren't inside of a squadron where people can give you money and you just want to earn it yourself. However, where we are currently is going to be changing depending on if the conflict is still going on. So if you see this video in the future, we'll have a guide later on how you can actually find the exact setups. But we are literally right next to the starter zone area. So all these little green spots, this is where you originally started out from. So we're not too far away from most of that. So like, for example, this was only 11 light years. So you can either book a long range shuttle to this system or you can fly there yourself. Now, how do you book a long range system? Well, you land at any spaceport and then you head up this little elevator over here in front of us. Now, the layout's going to be dependent on if you are in a bigger station or a smaller one. But for the bigger ones, it'll be on the left side of the screen. I'll show you exactly who you're looking for. So you want to come up the stairs, and then you're looking for this person over here.
Welcome to Apex Interstellar.
And then you just click, I want to book a long-range shuttle. And then from here, you can literally taxi to anywhere if you don't feel like driving. Now, it is dependent on a certain range. However, since we're so close to the starter zone, this is a perfect system to actually do it in. Now, why would we want to pick this system in particular? Well, we'll show you that in a second too. So another useful tip is over inside of the Pioneer supplies. You head over here.
If I don't have it, it's not worth
And then this is where you can buy different suits. Now, what different suit types are there? Well, we have a Dominator suit. This is going to be more of your all-out assault. So it's going to have 2 primary weapon slots. It'll have 1 secondary slot. We have a Maverick suit, which is going to be a primary and a secondary. And we have an Artemis suit, which is going to be a primary and secondary. You are going to notice that they have different perks. This is going to be your exploration suit. So it's not really going to be that well for combat. This is more of your espionage, hacking into panels sort of suit, so it'll be a little bit more stealth oriented. And then this is going to be your all-out brawl. So I recommend grabbing a Dominator suit, which is going to be 150k. You start with 250k, so you have plenty of credits to begin this method. Then you want to head over and buy the weapons. Then from here, basically you can pick whatever you want. I personally really like the mana core, but they're not always going to be available, so try to find something that you like. You're going to be spawning one with a pistol, so we're going to do our best to make a loadout to where a new player would also be able to, and then we'll show you the different layouts that we have inside too. So to do that, you just head over to your terminals, then you want to click Edit Loadout, which the tutorial taught you to, but just in case you skipped it, and then we'll make a new loadout, select suit, and you always start with a flight suit, but you don't really want to be trying to fight that because it doesn't have any additional perks. And also, you can buy up to a grade 3 suit, but the grade 3s are going to be quite expensive, so don't go expecting to afford that without playing quite a bit. Later on, you'll have plenty of money, so you won't have to worry about it, but that does take quite a while at the very beginning. All right, so level 1 Aphelion, I'm pretty sure this is what I originally started the game with, so we'll grab you. We'll grab the level 1 Intimidator, and I guess the Karma. Perfect. All right, so we have our loadout. So what do you do from here? Well, if you're doing it this method, you can head over to the Frontier Solutions, and as long as you speak to the person, and you're going to notice that it has a, I want to enlist in a faction war. This means they're literally going to take us to the destination, so you don't have to do anything crazy. Now, why did we pick this system in particular? Well, on the map, you're going to notice that there's several different yellow conflict zones here. But the really cool thing is we are currently right here based on this little symbol. That's where a ship is. So there is a action literally right next to this port, so we don't have to travel far at all. So that leaves us a medium, a high, and a low. Now, if you're just starting out, you don't necessarily want to be trying to push it too much. High is going to be extremely hard. The more kills you get, the more money you're going to get. So either doing low or medium will get you money. We're just going to be doing low, that way you can see like the base value. Medium last night, we were getting about 1.2 million. High, once you get up to like the tier 3 weapons and better armor suits, you get about 10 million per trip. But we'll do low this time. And then this is literally up to you. So whichever one you think has a cooler name or one that you just decided to work towards, make sure you keep that faction the whole time because you're slowly building up reputation for them. And while you're doing that, you're also slowly lowering your reputation with the other one.
Roger that.
Now we did that. Notice it says dropship ready. Now, there is a whole nother solution that you can do is... Now, there is another way to do that. Instead of having to take an Apex shuttle, you can literally fly your ship there and land on the planet. However, the shuttle is going to take out a lot of issues, so I personally prefer the shuttle method. Mainly due to the fact that if the game like lags out or anything, it's going to automatically have the shuttle be able to bring you back and forth, and you literally are just doing it like a normal like Call of Duty Battlefield match. Like you don't have to really think about flying at all, you're just going in here to kill. Now, depending on your system, it's not always going to be right next to the main station, which is why this one's is actually a pretty good system. We are in the Fencian system. Once again, if you technically wanted to, all you would have to do is mark this planet and then go find where this conflict zone site is, land there, pick whichever side you wanted, and then you'll be fighting. The only problem is your ship will probably fly away, so you'll have to hold the Q key in order to call it back down to you. Where the shuttle, you literally just click a button and it comes pick you up in about 15 seconds, and it'll magically teleport you inside, and then you'll be on your way to the station to repeat and recycle. So once you're approaching your destination, the drop shuttle should take you all the way over to the hydroponics area, and that's where you're going to be fighting. It's not always called hydroponics, it's just going to be whatever this specific ground post is called. We could not get the one to work with the low, so we're doing a medium today. Last night, another newer commander was playing with me. He was also able to get 1.2 million credits doing this. Now, follow along with me. I understand that not everyone likes the ground combat in this game, and on top of that, the reason why I'm recommending this is it's actually really good as like a 3-part scenario. So we're going to start with the ground combat. This is going to get us enough money to be able to afford the Cobra Mark V. And then the next video, once we're in the Cobra Mark V, I'll show you how to get more money. And then from there, that's going to allow us to buy a mining ship. So we're going to start off with just the Sidewinder doing ground combat missions, finding a good zone. By the way, if you buy the Aphelion, this is the laser rifle that we're using currently. It's really good at opening shields, and then if you just pair it with a pistol, once the shields are gone, you can kill them super quick. So what our goal is, we're going to be farming up at least 2 to 3 million. So honestly, it's only going to take you 2, maybe 3 different ground combat missions. Especially if you're by yourself, you'll make the most money. Now, this game's a little bit different compared to others, so you're not going to necessarily care if you're the one who gets the kill shot. You're going to care more if you get damage shot. So like, for example, if there's a whole group of enemies, it's best to shoot all 3 of them and then focus on killing. That way, if an NPC shoots like a rocket launcher or something at any of them, you'll get credit for the kill, regardless of how much you actually contributed. But once we do a few of these, we'll be able to turn in enough money to the ship area to where we can buy a whole new Cobra Mark V. There's also the Cobra Mark III, which you can also get. That used to be a good ship. They do currently have a ship camp available, which we'll link in the video, and I'll show you how to I'll show you guys how exactly to find that once we're done with this. Now, each of these matches will last about 10 minutes. You do have a way to heal yourself. You also have a way to turn your shields on and off. For anyone curious about the AI speaking to us in the background, that is ED Copilot. We have another video on how to install that. This is one of those games where there's not mods necessarily, but there is tons of plugins that really enhance the experience and helps add to the immersion. And if you die, that's okay.
That's another one down.
Especially if you're doing a medium with tier 1 gear, you should probably expect to die every now and then. But this is exactly why we took the shuttle over there. It's going to take us right back to the fight. We don't have to do anything else extra. And then whenever we're done, we're going to be able to take a shuttle out of here by clicking one simple button. All right, so now that we're back on the ground, we'll just do it all over again. Now the top score in the middle there, that's going to be our team versus the enemy team. So you want to try to have the green win. Occasionally it'll bug out to where the points actually won't be moving. That's actually extremely good because you can just farm up a whole bunch of money for free. And you'll have infinite spawning when it comes to the shuttle. Take you here. It's not very common for it to happen though, but it does happen occasionally. Now for the low mission inside of this planet, for some reason it listed as a conflict zone even though it wasn't. So it wasn't actually updating to show that it was no longer active, which is why we had to do a medium instead. That's fine. So the difference between the low, medium, and high, they're going to have higher tier units which pay more per kill. However, they're going to be set up the exact same when it comes to what you're needing to do. So there's different flags around the map that you're going to need to capture, or you can just go straight on killing. Your team usually does a fairly decent job when it comes to capturing flags. So if you're mainly here for money, it doesn't necessarily matter if you win, honestly. You get 230k for winning, then you get way more for the kills. Now, once again, this is a level 1 pistol and a level 1 laser weapon. You'll also notice that it's the same laser weapon that you did the tutorial with, which is why I actually really recommend it. It's a really nice suggestion that they did. Now, tomorrow, we're going to be showing you how to outfit your Cobra Mark V for an exploration build, and that's going to allow you to get a lot more credits. But the reason why we're doing this several stage method is basically this is going to get you off your feet. It's going to allow you to get some suits. It'll allow you to have enough money to get everything that we need to explore around a little bit better in the world. And then we'll be able to take that with an exploration ship and move that on to like a mining ship, for example. That way you have a little bit of everything in order to get your own money. Now, technically you could join a squadron and ask them to give you money, but this is a way to be self-sufficient without having to rely on other commanders.
Taken by the enemy.
Also, don't forget there's always abilities to heal yourself and ammo pods readily available on the map. So when you're looking around, currently our suit's not too low. Well, 30% it's low enough. So we click the 3 key, or you pull out your energy link, whatever button it is in case you're playing on controller, and then you want to shoot at it, and that'll recharge your suit. Also, there's little ammo things on the map that's going to allow us to refill all of our weapons. Now, for the different types of weapons, they have grenade launchers, they have sniper rifles, they have laser weapons, they have plasma weapons, and then they have normal regular bullets. So the weapons that I typically recommend, I would go for a laser weapon to strip their shield, and then go for whatever weapon you want to finish them off. Sniper rifles are also really powerful, and I think it's sort of a given, but grenade launchers also do a lot of damage. What?
Target destroyed.
Reinforcements inbound.
Don't forget, you do have access to grenades while you're playing as well. Isn't that right, buddy?
Great shooting, Commander.
If you're on an older system, I do have a guide on how to adjust your settings to try to get it to work better. The ground settings will be a little bit more taxing on your system compared to flying in the air, so keep that in mind if you are playing on an older system. And later on in the week, we will have a guide out on how exactly you can engineer your suits. Keep in mind, any station that you go to can have any suit level between 1 and 3. Occasionally, you'll find level 3 suits with modifications automatically installed on them. They're going to be a lot more expensive, and it's kind of rare finding the level 3 suits, but it's well worth it to buy that we don't have to waste the extra time grinding out to get to tier 3 and then beyond. So if you're trying to get to a place and it bugs out and just puts you in the middle of nowhere, how do you actually get out? Well, there'll be a menu on foot that you're able to open up on the side panel. For PC, it's going to default as the Q, and then you'll be able to select request Apex transport, and it'll automatically bring the people to you. Hold on. Now, don't get tricked by thinking that you should have the money instantly. Whenever we finish the match, it's going to be given us in combat bonds. The reason why combat bonds are really good, we don't actually lose them if we die, so everything's able to stack inside of our inventory. So you can honestly hold on to them for as long as you want. You want to just save them to the very end once you have enough to buy the ship and all your upgrades? Go ahead and do that. Once you finally get to the end where your side has completely crushed the enemy components, you're going to notice that there's a certain amount of heads. That's going to be the lives remaining. Your goal is going to be to kill them before they kill you. This is like a final last stand death match, even though we have more tickets than them. And if you're trying to find like the last guy and he's hiding, follow the arrows because all your teammates are going to be randomly starting to like point towards where the guy's at. There we go. So if he got left behind here, if you click Q, and then you can scroll over where it says Apex Shuttle, And then you can request to book a long-range booking or a local booking. Local booking, you'll be able to book back to the station that we were at earlier. So once again, you could schedule it this way. But since we took the shuttle here originally, all you have to do is click View Action Reports. It says that you got the reputation. You lost a little reputation from the guys that we were killing. That's cool. Close that out. Click E again, and it'll say Leaving Conflict Zone. And the shuttle is going to pick us up and take us all the way back to the station, so we don't have to do anything extra special. And the cool thing is you just teleport into the shuttle, so you don't have to do anything extra. Just like that, we're now being picked up and taken back to the station. No extra effort required on your part. So you'll be able just to farm out multiple different scenarios doing that way. Alright, so going over a few things. So, we're going to link this website in the description down below. We have had a video on it in the past. It's kind of good at calculating which ones the high, medium, and low are. Occasionally, it'll have incorrect information, so it might say there's a high there, even though there's not. Usually, there's almost always a low and a medium listed correctly, though. So how do you use this website? Well, you literally just input whatever system you're starting in. So, for example, we find our system by going over to the left side panel. We're currently in Fincian. Input Fincian, you click Go. You can set how far you actually want it. Once again, you're going to be in a Sidewinder, so you can book a local or a long-range shuttle. And it'll show you if it has a low, medium, or high conflict. Also, the date updated. So pay attention to the date, that way you know it's an accurate information. But that's how you're going to be able to find it. Once again, we did this with level 1 suit, so level 1 suit, level 1 weapons, nothing crazy. You should be able to handle a medium on your own. You're going to die a couple times, and that's 100% okay. It's not going to affect your payout. You're good to go, Commander. But you'll be able to earn that. And then also, there's one other thing that we can get. So currently, if you look in the ARC store, so all you have to do is type in IRX, and then you head over to the store itself and go under Cosmetics. You can scroll down. They have a lot of ships that are on sale currently. But you can grab this Rookie Cosmetic Starter Bundle. This is going to be a free Sidewinder Mark III skin. Now, the Mark V is going to be a better ship for you, so that is why this guide is focused on around earning enough money to afford one of these ships. I would personally get the Mark V, but the Mark III is a good starter ship as well. This is the one that I actually moved into when I first started playing. So it's totally up to you how you want to start earning your money. But it sounds like we're nearing the station, so let's head back into the game and show you guys how much money we made from that one mission. And also to show you guys how much the Cobra Mark V is. Once again, that is going to be tomorrow's video, is showing you what to do once you have enough money to buy the ship and get a few small upgrades for it. Now, I'll try to title this so it makes sense. So I would call this Phase 1. So you're a brand new player, just literally bought the game. If you're wanting to do it the independent way, you can farm out your own money. Another solution is if you're in a squadron, they can actually give you some money now. That's a new thing that's changed, and if anyone wants to join my squadron, you're more than welcome to. But there's the cool things inside the squadron perks itself, not just the squadron bank, but they can give you a primary perk. So currently I have increased mining fragment yield and cargo insurance. However, you can do a whole bunch of other stuff. And then at the same time, there's a squadron bank. So if you wanted to put some money up for other commanders inside your squadron to be able to afford things, you can do that. But I want to make sure you guys are self-sufficient, that way you're able to survive. The reason why I do this approach, for me personally, it doesn't matter if I give you enough money to buy a ship. If you don't know how to actually do like the basic functionalities of the game, it's going to cost you more money in the long run, because you're going to be blowing up a lot and wasting a lot of modules and components, and you're going to have a really poor experience. So I'd rather you guys learn how to do it the proper way, that way you can actually be a successful solo commander, and then once you're off your feet, obviously then the world is yours to conquer. Also, there is a squadron carrier that can give ships to people, but the thing is, giving a ship, you're not allowed to engineer it, which engineering is a whole nother thing that we'll get into eventually. But you head back to the same lady that we went to originally and click on I have combat bonds to redeem.
Understood. A soldier's gotta eat.
Soldier does have to eat. For that one mission, we got 1.9 million.
You need anything else?
Once again, that was a medium, and that was the one at the very top. Now, that's totally going to be dependent on how many kills you get. So if you had less kills, you will get less money. But we were in the hydroponics base at the very top. I don't know how to say that first word. All right, so now that we've shown how to actually earn your first few million Elite Dangerous, what do you do from there? Well, you want to head over to the Inter Astra. This is going to be the ship purchase area. You can also call your ship here if you did book a long-range shuttle to the station.
What are you in the market for?
But click on I'm interested in your services.
Should I put Baby Shark on again?
So from here, you can click purchase ships. And then for me personally, I'm recommending you guys save up to get the Cobra Mark V. It's going to be 1.939724. So I think we got that exact amount, if not just like a little under from one run. So about 2 runs, you'll be able to get the Cobra Mark V. It's a 2-seater. It's a little bit bigger than the Mark III, and it's going to have a lot more hull HP. Or you can go the cheaper route and get the Cobra Mark III, but the Mark V is a newer ship. It'll be able to handle better technologies, and I think you'll have a better experience starting out. Now, if you're curious how to book a long-range shuttle, that'll be over to the left of the Pioneer supplies. So that'll be this person right here.
Welcome to Apex.
And then click, I want to book a long-range shuttle. This will take you to a different star. The other option takes you to a closer area. So like if we use the website from earlier, for example, this one, just click the little page here and that'll copy it. And then you paste that into the search bar. If you've been to the system, it'll be a little bit easier to have full information on it, but click select a drop-off point. Then as you can see, we do have a big building here, so we'll be able to go directly to that station, and it'll fly us to there without us having to actually go anywhere. If you don't feel like flying your Sidewinder and you want to just get to the destination, that is one way to get around having to have a really poor jump range. Most of it's going to be relatively close. But if this guide helps you get started, Commanders, hopefully by the end of this, you'll be able to have a few million, you'll be able to move up to your first ship, and then tomorrow we'll be able to show you what to do with that first ship and some recommended upgrades. I would probably farm out about 5 to 10 million, so if we get about 2 million per, it's honestly not too bad. That's like 15 minutes a match. Farming that out, get plenty of money saved up, we'll get some upgrades on the ship, and then we'll get so much more later on, and then part 3 will be focused on mining. I will see you guys in the next one, Commanders. Hope everyone has a good afternoon, evening, and morning, and I'll see you guys in the next one.